From where the West begins in Fort Worth, Texas, to around the globe, you are listening to Talk of the Night. And now, your host, Paranormal Phil. Thank you and good evening, good morning, wherever you may be around the world, around the globe, or even in your own backyard. I apologize about a few minutes ago. I had a little problem with my stream, so let me make some posts real quick just to make sure people know about my post that I am live. Again, I apologize. I had problems with my thing wanting to go crazy. So let me do this real. I am live now. Okay, so again, I am streaming live. If you notice the red screen, is because we are into Spooktober, and I wanted to have that spooky look for tonight's show. Now, again, my show is listener, viewer supported, so there is a link in the description, and I'm going to just bring this over. Listener, viewer supported. I'm doing everything myself. I don't have somebody else to help me with this stuff, so the donations will help me to hire somebody that can help me. But anything that you can give would be greatly appreciated. So let's get into tonight's show, and I'm going to bring up my chat here so I can see people in the chat, hopefully. And I am live, so we're going to get into 13 the real ghost stories from around the world. And again, I apologize for being late, but again, I had issues with my computer wanting to be stupid. So I want to make sure that all right, hold on, sorry about that. That everything is working and that everything is shared here. So let's get into the first story that we're going to talk about, which is, hopefully y'all can see that. 13 people reveal ghost stories so chilling it'll make you sleep with the lights on. And sorry, I'm typing something right now. I apologize again. But 13 people reveal stories so chilling that will make you sleep with the lights on. And yes, tonight it might scare the living out of you. So join me in the chat. And if you send me a message on Facebook, I apologize. I can't get to it right now. But I'll get to it after tonight's live stream. So, have you ever felt that sudden cold chill or seem to move, something moves out of the corner of your eye? There are those who believe that these kind of occurrences are scientifically explainable. But according to Scientific America, 42% of Americans believe that they may be caused by ghosts or other paranormal activity. And being in the paranormal investigation field for quite a number of years, like 28 years, I always look for a terrestrial explanation before I say anything is paranormal, unless I can actually see the spirit myself. And even then, I still might question it a little bit. But there are people that do not want to believe that there is something, life after death, or anything like that, or our spirits remain here. Ask a crowd of people, and you are sure to find at least one person who has had a first-hand experience with the supernatural. I cannot talk tonight. Everything's just going wrong tonight. At least I'm live. Here are some of the Reddit ghost encounters. We got a lot of stories to get into tonight. A lot of them. I'm even going to play a few videos and let you guys decide for yourself. Is it real or is it fake? So here are some Reddit ghost encounter stories so creepy that you may leave the lights on tonight. Of course, these are just for fun. We can't independently authenticate them. Of course, nobody can actually authenticate any real ghost story unless they experience it for themselves. And even then, they can't. Sorry. I want to do this on my Talking the Night Facebook page. Make sure people know I am live. Again, pop in the chat. Let me know your and I'm going to type in the chat, welcome to the show. Feel free to join in. And I can see the chat because I do have a little chat window thing open here. So that way I can see if anybody pops in the chat. I think, if it works. I was so busy this week and tonight that I was rushing to get everything down. So the first one is, he leaves scribbles in my notebook. And no, it's not somebody writing in somebody else's notebook. There is the ghost of a young boy who lives in our house that our guests have seen. We rent from original owner, and there is no bad history. And that doesn't mean that there isn't some kind of haunting going on because of the house. It could be because of the land. So the house doesn't have to have a bad history or anything for a haunted to go on. It could be because of the land. Continue on. But dozens of people have seen him walking around upstairs. I leave my phone on the nightstand at night, and I often find hundreds of scribbles open on the notepad when I wake up. Redditor Solid Voice. From the Reddit user. That's just one story. Again, some of these might seem scary, some might not. I haven't read over a lot of these, so again, these are just some stories that might make you leave the lights on at night if you're scared to go to bed after this. I mean, I've seen some scarier stuff than this. What's Her Name is the next one. And these are short little stories. So, again, you can make up your mind. Tell me what you think in the comments below. Also, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified when I go live. Hopefully next Saturday I won't make this mistake. I'll fix that. I'll test all that before I go live next week. So, one night when my daughter was 2.5 years old, we were home alone talking right before bed. We were playing a game where we gave all her stuffed animals silly names. Named the last one, and she asked, "What's her name?" I said something along the lines of, "Who?" I mean, because I believe she was actually, this girl was able to see the spirit standing in there. And we'll get into that at another time. But children, if I did a vlog on it, I think over on my Into the Paranormal YouTube channel. Yeah, matter of fact, I know it's on that channel. A link is in the description, I believe, for my Into the Paranormal YouTube channel. But spirits, our kids' minds are not corrupted by the everyday world, so they have the ability to see the spirits. As they get older, then sometimes it goes away, sometimes it doesn't. For me, it didn't. My family reinforced that ability with me at a young age. So I've always been able to see them. It continued on. "What's her name?" I said along the lines of, "Who?" "Honey, we already named everyone." Then she points to the blank wall and says, "That little girl." Now, I don't know if it was just overactive imagination, which it could have been. I'm not saying it wasn't, but again, children, animals, their minds are not children of young age, let's put it that way, not 14, 15 years old, unless they had that ability instilled in them from a young age. But young age, like no more than 3, maybe no more than 6. But overactive imagination or something else. All I know is that it freaked me out enough to sleep with the lights on for the next few weeks. And that Reddit user there. See, some people, it might freak them out. For me, it's just an everyday occurrence. Seeing spirits. Let's get past that ad. A ghost of country music fan. And I think there was an image there, but it's not showing up. So we're going to continue with the story. "I live alone in an old house in the historic district of Memphis," which Memphis is a very old city, so it does have its share of hauntings, especially an old district like that. It says, "I often get woken up in the middle of the night to country music coming from the radio. I don't listen to country music, and the radio had a dial. I'd have to change the dial back to my normal station while I was getting ready for work in the morning." So, I mean, spirits do have that ability to manipulate objects, which you will probably see in some of the videos. I've seen it happen, especially at the Omen House. where they've had the ability to manipulate objects. So it's not uncommon for the spirit to do so. Next one is and these are real short stories. Again, all the links for what I'm talking about tonight will be in the description down below. And again, I apologize about earlier. It's just that I had that problem of my computer not working right. And I don't know who that is. Alright, sorry. So this next story is, we have no idea where the glass came from. And I guess some broken glass or something, according to this story, but we'll see. One night, my mom heard a crash noise, and I want to see, because nobody seems to be in the chat. So I wanted to make sure that let's see, it says, one night my mom heard a crash noise in their kitchen, but figured it was up and I was up and dropped something. The next morning, my dad walked downstairs through the and there was ice on the kitchen floor, but he had said after looking at it, the ice wasn't melting. It was glass shards, which would be a horrible thing to wake up to, and everything like that. They cleaned up the glass, which was on the floor, countertops, and even under the lip of the countertops, along the top of some drawer cabinets. It was as if someone stood back and threw a glass object at the wall or something. So I'm guessing it was away from the wall. We had no idea what it was from. The glass was too thick to be any of the vases or glasses, even some of the bowls in the house. It had a huge family meeting in the kitchen trying to figure out what happened and where the glass came from. We still have no idea. Now, if you got cats, and I used to have a cat, they do like to knock things over. So this story doesn't mention anything about an animal in the house, but animals, especially cats, if they can get up on a countertop, they like to knock things over. But if it was away from the counters or anything like that, that's a little more mysterious. Again, another ad. There was a ghost playing tricks on me. And there's 13 of these short little stories. Again, none of these stories seem scary, but we're going to get into some scary stuff later on in the show. I'm sure there was a ghost playing trick on me. One evening I was watching TV while sitting on the sofa. I had a rubber band in my hand and flicked it across the room in an arc behind the TV. Next thing you know, it drops on my head. There wasn't enough power to bounce off the wall. I had no idea how it ended up on my head. Now that one right there just seems a little iffy there, because, I mean, there's no video to it, and we have to go off of that little story. So could it be somebody behind this person with a rubber band and just dropping it on their head, and they didn't notice, or they made up the story? That's what I tend to think with this one. Again, like I said, I look at the terrestrial explanation before I say anything is paranormal. My parents had to take down the wallpaper. And I can see why if it was that kind of wallpaper. That just looks a little ugly. But that's just me. I have memories as a young child in a certain house. Several very bizarre things happened. I had no logical explanation for them. The best I can do is explain them logically are hallucinations. But I have never experienced anything away from the home. The oddest one to me had to do with my new wallpaper. We had to change it. It had dinosaurs on it. I would see dinosaurs marching around and killing each other. This would happen during the same time several nights until we took it down. Before we continue on with this story, again, I'm not doubting this or anything like that. Any of these stories, I'm not doubting. But I'm also going to give a terrestrial explanation to everything and everything like that. But it almost sounds like somebody was on drugs in this house. But again, I'm not making any assertions. I'll let you guys decide what you think, because I don't have the full answers to this. Neither do you. We don't have video, but that would be interesting if that actually happened. But again, I don't see that happening. I've never seen anything like that ever happen, so I can't say for certain that that's what it was. Hey, Bill. Shoot. All right, so I apologize. I'm just doing something here. We'll get back to the story at hand here. So, it says, items used to move and get thrown on their own accord. A favorite was a rocking chair. It would change positions and rock. One night when my grandparents were staying over, I had awoke to find someone I didn't know in the chair who looked strange. A stuffed animal walked one time, which some people, like with dolls, they think that the doll is possessed. And I have a different theory on this. And I've heard this theory from David Oman too as well. That the doll is not possessed itself. It is the person that owned the doll, or even the stuffed animal in this case, that is manipulating it to make it look like it walking, but the doll is not possessed. It is being manipulated by the spirit. I could be wrong. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I woke to scratches that looked like nails. Maybe it was just my effed up child brain, but I don't remember that in that way. The scratches are really strange. And again, I'm not putting anybody's story down or anything like that. It's just that I don't see that thing. Okay, so give me a second. I'm gonna change chat boxes. Actually, no. You know what? Not that. Give me a second. I apologize. Everything is going wrong tonight. So hopefully, there we go. Now I can see the chat. I apologize for that, but I wanted to make sure I could see the chat so I could respond to anybody in the chat. But yeah, thanks, Bill, for coming and everything like that. That's right. I had some problems, Bill, with my first stream. I had it scheduled. I forgot to hit go live, and then my camera wasn't showing up, so I had that issue. I was dealing with a whole bunch of issues for this live stream. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it is the first show of Spooktober. But, yeah. Alright, so continued on. Let's get into the next story. And there's a lot of ads in this. Mary Todd Lincoln, is that you? Now, I'm pretty sure this one has to go with Abraham Lincoln. I'm sure that there was a image, or at least there was the other day when I was looking up these links. But, it says, I went to a Lincoln exhibit when I was very young. There was a rocking chair, and as soon as I saw a woman in period dress with brown hair knitting something and rocking in a chair. After like 2 seconds, the image vanished. I would attribute it to imagination, except the image was very vivid and clear, and I've never seen anything like it since. Yeah, I can see the chat, but I can't see it very well. So I'm gonna do this so people can see the chat, but I can see it too. Whoops, that's not what I want. Yeah, Bill says that demon do it in Halloween season. Alright. So, I just wanted to click on that. She screams in my ear. Now, this might be a little scary if it is real, but again, I'm going to let you, the viewers, decide on this. When I lived in Minnesota, I would go over to my friend's house a lot. One day, I was sitting on the couch watching TV, and I heard a girl screaming right in my ear. It was like she was screaming at the top of her lungs, but the volume was turned down, so it wasn't the true volume of scream. There was nothing there, obviously, so I just wrote it off. A week later or so, one of the guys whipped his head around and said, I just heard a girl screaming. We both knew there was no one else in the house. I didn't hear the girl screaming, but then neither did anyone else when she screamed in my ear. I don't think she was mean or bad. I think she was sad, lonely, wanting attention. I felt bad that I couldn't reach out to her. Now, again, like I said, I'm going to let you, the viewer, decide. And for those just tuning in, if you're wondering why my screen is red, it's because of Halloween time. I love this time of year. Love scaring the hell out of people. So, and we got a whole month of Spooktober shows for Talking the Night coming up. I'll get into those near the end. Alright, so scrolling down, let's see. Stuff started hitting the inside of the closet door. Now, if you're alone in your room and something starts knocking on the inside of the closet door, well, I'm not going to say it's a ghost or anything, but yeah, I mean, I would hope that nobody's hiding in there. But let's read this story here. It was late at night. I was late night gaming. My dog was hanging out with me and started to bark into the dark bedroom. When I went to check out, I could hear fingernails scratching inside my bedroom closet. As I got closer, the scratching started getting quieter. The sound stopped. And then I was right in front of the closet. Crash! Stuff started hitting the inside of the closet door. Sorry. I had to try and scare y'all with that little thing. But again, if you're by yourself and you hear this stuff here crashing and scratching on the door, yeah, it might be time to look into a new place. If it's not somebody real just playing prank. Again, I can't verify any of these stories are real or anything without speaking to the person or seeing a video that would back up the claim. So that's why I'm going to give you my analysis on these stories, but I want to get your response down in the description. Let me know what you think, and we'll go from there. So let's continue on here. I ran straight outside. No way I was going to stay in there alone this time. 30 minutes go by and my buddy comes over to check out things with me. I open up the closet to find all my clothes hangers all over the floor of the closet. We searched every wall, ceiling for any secret opening. No secret door could be found. Now, another thing, and what this story didn't mention, was the scratches. When they opened that door, was there scratches on the door? And if there was, what did they look like? Could it have been an animal that got in there? Because that's another terrestrial explanation that I look for when I'm investigating anything. Because I want to know if it's really a paranormal thing or if it's actually can be explained away with the terrestrial explanation, such as an animal. Sorry, I had to get something to drink. Get a little thirsty there. So let's continue on with the next story. Oops. Navigated away from what I wanted. I apologize. Don't want that. Let's get back to the story here. He whispered in my ear, and you know what? We got a lot to cover, so this is the last one on this page. So I'm going to get into some others because we are already an hour in, even though I kind of started this stream a little late because of issues with the first stream. So this is the last one I'm going to get into before we go to a new one. It says, when I was younger, I was helping my aunt clean an office. She was hired to clean, and lots of stuff happened there. The one that spooked me the most was when I was emptying trash cans while my aunt vacuumed and my brother did dishes. Suddenly, a man's voice whispered in my ear, "Coo, coo, coo." Kind of like he was playing with a toy gun. We were the only people there. Again, like all these stories that you're going to see tonight that I talk about, there's no way for me to verify them. So I'm going to give you my opinion on them, what I think, but I also want you to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Sorry. Thought I had something on my screen. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. So let's get into this one. And that first one came from Insider. Again, link will be in the description for all these things that I'm talking about. But this one's coming from Country Living. 11 best ghost stories that will scare your socks off. Read on if you dare, which we're going to read on. I'm not going to play the video here. Again, these stories are not the stories that you would find being told at a campfire. But let me read this because it could be important to those that might be scared. And I'm going to change my voice up to be a little more spooky. These scary ghost stories are certainly not in the faint of heart. Even those who love creepy Halloween movies and dive right into frightening books with witches or vampires, will get chills from these tales. You might actually live near one of the haunted spots that inspired tales because the stories come from places all over the country. Or after reading this roundup, maybe you'll be inspired to visit one of these spooky ghost towns mentioned. So I'm not going to read the rest of that, but let's get into these stories here. Number 1, the Sloss Furnace, Birmingham, Alabama. Just checking the chat. Birmingham, Alabama was founded in 1871, 5 years after the Civil War, and with it, the need for tons of pig iron to fix America's crumbling infrastructure. To satisfy the demand, Colonel James Wither Sloth started construction on Sloth furnaces. A year later, the company opened its doors to hundreds of employees, according to the official website. Working on blast furnace was an advanced job, and it was also dangerous. The danger was soon realized as many workers started being incinerated in the furnace and falling to their death. Ooh, that would have to suck, getting burned alive. Conditions only worsened in the early 1900s after a cruel foreman, James Slag, took a job at Sloth. According to Reader's Digest, Wormwood took dangerous risks in order to increase production. As a result, nearly 50 employees died on site and many were involved in terrible accidents during the tenure. Allegedly, in retaliation, his workers tossed him into the furnace in 1906. Wow. Don't piss off your co-workers if you're evil SOB. You might get something back, and it might not be good. Give me a second. Get some water. My throat is dry. You can still tour the grounds today if you dare. While there, you might just hear the voice of Slag telling his employees to get back to work, along with other paranormal occurrences. Sloth even hosts a Fright Night every year around Halloween that's based heavily on Slag's story. Ooh. And it is around Halloween. Now, later on in the month, I'm going to get into about the veil between this world and the spirit world thin as we get closer to All Hallows Eve. But that sounds interesting. Number 2. Again, I'm not going to go through all these because there's 11 of them. And I want to get to a lot more tonight. So, the Crying Lady in the Dakotas, New York, New York. In the Dakota, not in the Dakotas. In the Dakota. The Dakota, an apartment building in New York City, has been home to many rich and famous residents since its opening back in 1884. John Lennon and Yoko Ono moved into the building in 1973, and John was assassinated outside the structure on December 8, 1980. Before his death, John claimed he saw a crying lady ghost roaming the halls. Then, after John died, Yoko still lived in the building, and she's said to witness John's ghost sitting at his piano. Yoko says John told her, "Don't be afraid, I'm still with you." Now that's a cool story. Not so much scary there, but the crying lady, yeah, as old as New York is, there can be so much with that. Next one is the Bell Witch, Adams, Tennessee. You've heard of the Bell Witch Project or the Bell Witch movie and stuff like that. Well, that's what we're going to get into next week. But so I'm not going to divulge too much information. But next week we're going to get into real scary movies based on true events. If you're a scary movie lover, you might actually know about The Bell Witch. The film An American Haunting and The Blair Witch Project were both based on the story. Way back in early 1800s, a man named John Bell moved his family to an area in Tennessee called Red River, which is now known as Adams, Tennessee. After they settled in the new home, some peculiar things started happening. The Bell family began hearing some bizarre noises, including dog barking, chains rattling, rats chewing, and a woman whispering. Soon the woman became known as the Bell Witch. and many people believe she's the ghost of a former neighbor of the Bells, Kate Batts. Batts and the Bells had disputed over land, and she had sworn vengeance on the Bell family before she died. Later on, Bell died from poisoning and is rumored to be the work of the Bell Witch. Now, for stories like that, you might think, well, wouldn't that be more towards Salem, Massachusetts? And there are pretty much people that practice witchcraft to this day, but even back then. Now, of course, Salem, Massachusetts, they got a lot of hauntings going on and everything like that because of the land. And everything like that. So, yeah. Again, let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you're watching live, let me know. Pop in the chat, let me know. And if you're not live, if you're watching later on, leave a comment. Also, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to get notified when I do go live. Tonight was a rare occurrence. I apologize. I will fix that problem next week. So we don't have the same problem. I'm going to read one more from this. Again, like I said, I got a lot to go. You can check all the stories. Links for all the stuff are in the description down below. So, the Ghost Crescent Hotel, Eureka Springs, Arkansas, which is not too far from me, or at least Arkansas isn't. But I have no way to get there, so I can't go check it out. Or at least not right now. But that looks like a beautiful home and everything like that. Or a hotel, I should say. Now, another hotel that is close by me is getting ready to be rejuvenated and opening back up, and that is the Baker Hotel, which I would love to check out that once it opens up. So, spend the night in the hotel, Crescent Hotel in Eureka Springs, Arkansas, which opened in 1886. Now, a lot of these areas that they're mentioning were during the Civil War, so yeah, there could be something about that. During construction, the workers named Michael was killed, and his ghost reportedly still haunts room 218. The hotel came under the ownership of no medical fraud Norman Baker in 1937, who fancied himself a doctor. He turned the hotel into the Baker Cancer Hospital, claiming to have a cure for the disease. He did not, obviously, which might add to the story here with the hauntings. Patients who died under his care were buried right in the hotel's basement, which served as a makeshift morgue. He was arrested in 1940, but his patient's spirit are still said to remain there. Because the hotel is still open, guests can say they've seen apparitions or hear noises during their stay. Sci-Fi's Ghost Hunters even has footage of something moving in the basement. Now, I don't know. I haven't seen much on it lately, so I don't know if he's still doing it. But Dan Aykroyd, it has a show, Hotel Paranormal. I haven't seen it because it's on cable. I don't have cable. but I would love to know if he's been there and seen anything. Again, all I've seen is the trailer for Hotel Paranormal, but not the actual show. So again, I'm just gonna run through the names of the next few. Like I said, you can do your own reading for yourself. Huggin' Molly, Abbeville, Alabama. Number 5, the Certainty House Ghost. Georgia, again, all Civil War areas. The Ghost of Bellamy Bridge, Florida. The Ghost of Deer Island, Biloxi, Mississippi. Zombie Road in Missouri. It's something other than Ghost. And Dead Woman Crossing, Weatherford, Oklahoma, which is also not far from me. So again, like I said, all the links will be in the description. So let's read a couple of these. Global Ghost Tales, 7 tales of specters from around the world. Now those last 2 things were from here in the U.S. Let's get into some stories from around the world. Sorry. My evil laugh. Let's see. Okay. So this one is from Malaysia and Indonesia. Tiny green-skinned goblins with glowing red eyes toil our dead fetus or stillborn babies reanimated by black magic. Masters are said to keep their toils in jars, feeding them milk and candy, and on special occasions, drops of blood from the toes of the lady of the house. Ooh, yuck. That don't creep me out, but it just ew. It's more of a ew moment than when bidden, toils will steal money from their masters or commit other acts of petty crimes and sabotage. Now, there is a likely origin. The toil legend may have originated in pre-Islamic Mecca, where infanticide was common and newborns were sometimes buried alive. So, like the pagan religion, Christianity, it roots in something else, most likely. Bengal, India. The headless ghosts of people decapitated in train accidents. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that word right there. Haunt the place where they died. Passengers report seeing them in train stations at night and from the windows of trains traveling in the dark. They said to be violent but easy to outwit. After all, they have no heads. Wow. Now, if you've ever seen anything from India, you know people crawl on those trains in mass numbers. Right on the side of the train. So I wouldn't be surprised of accidents like that. So who knows? Then of course there is likely origins for all these stories. Given the patchy safety record of India's railway system, which is the 4th largest in the world, it's not surprising that headless train wreck victims would warrant their own category of ghost. Yeah, again, like I said, if you've ever seen videos of people packed on those trains, yeah, I mean, I can see how it could happen. Like I said, we got about 50 minutes left, so I don't want to get into too many of these stories here. In the same supernatural genius as vampires, Strigoi are the ghosts of people, and this is in Romania, who lived or died under unhappy circumstances: suicide, the illegitimate, the unbaptized, and contently single people, the unmarried. I would probably fall under that category. With red hair and bluish purple eyes, Strigoi live on human blood. Burying a body with a bottle of whiskey is said to prevent a loved one from returning as a Strigoi. Now, before reading the likely origin, I believe this might come from the Bram Stoker Dracula legend. But here's what it says. Likely, vampire-like creatures have been filmed in featured in folklore dating as far back as Mesopotamian civilizations, but modern vampire myths are likely a mishmash of Christian symbols, holy wood, a dead man rising from the grave, etc., and pre-science efforts to understand medical phenomena. Now, there are people that still believe that they are vampires to this day. Now, I'm not saying that they didn't exist, but again, I'll let you decide. Leave your comments down below. So, again, I don't want to get into all these because I still got a few more things to go over and play some videos. So, there's Japan. Japan has a lot of hauntings. La Llorona, and I used to be able to say this name just because of the movie, and you probably might have seen the movie La Llorona, Mexico. It's based on the Weeping Woman. I mean, the movie's based on this urban legend or ghost story. China, although I don't know how much of that is real. Scandinavia, and there's all kinds of hauntings all over the place. Just look at England and Ireland, Scotland, and all over the country there are hauntings. So that's just giving you some of them. And again, all the links are in the description, so you can decide what you think down in the description. Make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And share this with everybody, so that way people know that I am live, or I'm live every Saturday night for anybody that is catching this at a later time. So let's get into the next one. And this is 8 people shared their hometown most bone-chilling scary ghost stories. From the Stanley Hotel to Amityville House, which we're going to get into that next week. The U.S. has plenty of iconic haunted landmarks for building budding paranormal investigators to visit. But you are likely to have a supernatural site tucked away in your own backyard too. And I'm sure there are places all over the place that are haunted. Whether it's from the house, whether it's from the land. I mean, I've had people say that their house is new, so nothing bad has ever happened in the house, so they can't understand why there's a ghost there. And I explained to them, it could be from a former house there, it could be from the land. It's hard to say, but it could be just a spirit just wandering through. But this says you just have to listen to the local legends. And let's get into the stories here. Let's see, I know it's here somewhere. Okay, there we go. Oops. I did not want that. So let's begin the slideshow. Lizzie, New Jersey. Now, if you live in New Jersey or you heard of the Jersey Devil, there's a lot of stuff there. There is spooky dirt road called Whippoorwill Valley Road in my town. Everyone would joke about driving there at night in high school and seeing a ghost or phantom truck, or even spot the devil. And if you've ever heard of the ghost truck, I think that's Clinton Road, not Whippoorwill, whatever that road was, Whippoorwill Valley Road. There are tons of stories about this road, but the creepiest one is this legend. This legend has it that a baby drowned under the bridge that is now known as Crybaby Bridge. If you drive there at 1 a.m., you can apparently hear the baby start to cry. If you stop on the bridge and turn off your car, it also won't start back up again, leaving you to hear its ghostly cry. Wow. Yeah, I've heard of like stopping on the bridge and like people like ghost hands pushing the car or something like that, and seeing handprints on the hood. And I've heard of stories where the cars have cut off. But yeah, that seems a little creepy. Not that I would be scared. It's creepy, yeah. But it would be more annoying. Like, really? Come on, stop crying. But that would be my response. So let's go up here and go on to the next. Again, like I said, I'm not going to go through all these because I want to save time for the videos and let you. We're going to probably do like 3 of these and then move on. And again, all the links are in the description down below. Molly, Storm Lake, Iowa. This is more up in your neck of the woods, Bill. There was a haunted house outside of town. We called it the Texas Chainsaw House because there was a rumor that at night you could hear an echo of a chainsaw. And we're going to get into the Texas Chainsaw Massacre in tomorrow's episode. I don't want to give away too much about tomorrow. Not tomorrow, next Saturday's episode. Or live stream, should say. And the home still had unopened cans of food in the cabinets and newspapers from 1980s on the kitchen table, almost as if the family up and left and didn't pack a thing. Now, I've heard stories of that. Not this house, but I've heard stories. I saw a video where people just packed up and left. They just got so frightened that they're like, no, I'm not doing it no more. So continue on. They tore it down because kids were going, excuse me, I gotta get some water. Kids were going in there and trespassing in this old abandoned creepy house with the likes of weird amounts of dolls and toys from the 80s. Now, don't look like you can investigate it, Bill, because it's no longer there, but I'll say this about investigating because I've done it again for 28 years. Never go into abandoned buildings because you might get hurt. Don't go in there without permission because you might get in trouble or hurt. But, I mean, just save yourself from becoming a ghost yourself if you go into an abandoned place and get hurt. And definitely do not go alone. It says, I don't believe in ghosts at the time, but looking back, I bet money that it was actually haunted. And again, I wouldn't put it past it. So again, like I said, I'm not going to get into all these because I want to get into the videos that I got scheduled to show tonight too as well. Margaret, Deer Island, Maine. There was a ghost of a lobster man, a fisherman who went lobstering. He found one that was shaped like his wife and took it home to her. They laughed and boiled it and ate it, and then they were done. His wife had turned into a lobster. They had many children and still live up there. Now that sounds more like a joke than anything. I mean, wow. That one was a joke. That one had to be a joke. Yeah. I'm not going to click on the rest because I don't have time to click on and go over all the others. But again, all the links will be in the description down below. So, like I said, I got one more little story I want to read. And this one is more if you want to visit some of these supposed haunted sites and come up or have your own ghost story to tell. Again, these stories that I'm reading, some of them might be like that last one, but most of these are not the stories that you would really tell at a campfire. But this is from, and the last two was from Refinery 29, and the one before that was from the Atlantic. So I want to make sure that I give credit where credit is due. So I make sure I avoid any copyright strikes. But this one is from the Traveler. Let's see, what is it? I can't read that small writing above Traveler, but this website, CNT or CN Traveler, according to the link, 43 most haunted places in the world that are beautifully scary. Now, this is from places all over the world, not just here in the U.S., for those that might be viewing this all around the world. Now, nothing beats a good Halloween story, a good ghost story on Halloween, and our planet is chock full of them. UFO sightings in Transylvania, murders on luxury cruise ships, and spirits wandering the halls of the British castles. No matter where you're traveling, you're sure to find some sort of haunted site, as well as a ghost tour to go along with it. Especially here in Fort Worth, there's plenty of ghost tours, which I might do a live thing close to Halloween. Halloween night, I got my ghost talk, which hopefully by then I'll be able to open up some kind of phone lines where you can call in or video Skype me to where you can share your ghost stories with me and the world. Now, no matter you try, okay, so it sounds okay, but there are ghost tours here in Fort Worth. But even if you're not a fan of paranormal activity, some of the spookiest locations are just still worth your time, whether they're beautiful architecture, jaw-dropping location, or fascinating histories. There are 43 most haunted places in the world. You would want to visit any of the day, just not just October 31st. Hell, I would love going on October 31st, just to see what I can find, especially the castles in Ireland. As soon as I have a vehicle to do it, yeah, I'll go there again. Because I still got to finish my YouTube video. I was there live, but I want to do a whole video on it at night, not during the day like I did last time. And last time I was there was a storm. For those not familiar with Goatman's Bridge, it's supposedly a bridge haunted by a goat man. Some people say he's part goats. Some people say the person owned goats, but I've heard stories the last time I was there that people actually got tossed off the bridge by an unseen force. So I want to make sure I don't go alone there, because I don't want to get tossed over the bridge, get hurt, and nobody there to help. But I definitely, there are stories of satanic worship there and everything like that. So I want to make sure I go with a group, especially if I'm filming at night. Not to say that they would be in the picture, in the video. They might be, but I'm not going to do it alone. Not that I'm afraid or anything. It's the thing I would be afraid of is actually getting tossed over the bridge by unseen force and nobody there to help me. I'm not afraid of the spirits. I'm not afraid of any satanic worshipers or anything like that. But I just don't want to get injured and nobody find me for a couple of days. So let's continue on with this. And we're not going to get into All these again, like I said, all the links are in the description where you can check them out for yourself. Hoi Bacchus Forest, Romania. From the moment a military technician captured it, and Nicole commented on my post. So, I am live now. Hopefully she joins me in the chat. And for anybody tuning in late, like I said, I apologize. I had some issues with the stream at the beginning. I'll have it all figured out by next week. Okay, so I apologize. Let me. Alright. Sorry. Want to let somebody know that I'm live now. That little notification bell noise that you hear is I'm getting notified on Facebook that I'm getting messages from Facebook. And let me check this real quick. Okay, so she's on her way. Okay. So let's get back to this. So again, from the moment a military technician captured a photograph of a UFO hovering over the forest in 1968, Hoyt, whatever that name is down there, has gained paranormal notoriety around the world, with some believing that it is a portal that just causes the visitors to disappear. Now, I've heard of forests that people just disappear, like up in Alaska. There's different triangles. Basically, look like the Bermuda Triangle, where people go into these areas and disappear, never to be found again. Those who have passed through the forest without being zapped into another realm have reported rashes, nausea, and feeling anxiety, according to the Independent. Known as the Bermuda Triangle of Transylvania, the spooky curved trees that populate the forest just add to the eerie atmosphere. Yeah, I mean, imagine that looks like you're walking into a horror film there. I would feel at home in there. I'd be like, oh yeah, this would be perfect to film. Although I may never get the film out, but yeah, I wouldn't mind going in there. Just call me weird on that. The Fairmont Banff Springs Hotel, Canada. Built in 1888 to encourage tourism and sell train tickets, the chateau-like hotel sits pretty by the Rocky Mountains in Banff National Park, but it gets a tad more gothic once you get inside, and we aren't talking about the architecture. The Calgary Herald has reported several resident ghosts, including the bride who supposedly fell down the stone staircase during a wedding. But there's less tragic spirits too. Sam, the bellman who worked at the hotel until 1975 and claimed he'd come back to haunt the joint. His spirit supposedly pulls shifts, helping people with their bags before disappearing. Uh, there is the Stockyards Hotel here in Fort Worth that has a similar story of a person that used to work at the hotel and tries to help the guests even in the afterlife. Um, I mean, just look at that. That's a little creepy, but cool at the same time. Uh, but this is the Eastern State Penitentiary, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The penitentiary, the asylum, which I believe I had a guest on that wrote a book on this place. But yeah, definitely a place to look into. Again, I'm gonna read just this one, and then I'm gonna scroll through the rest and let you look at them real quick, mention them real quick. But all the links are in the description down below, where you can check out everything. And if you haven't done so, make sure that you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to get notified when I do go live. Share this with everybody, and definitely comment down below. So, Castle Light, Eastern State Penitentiary. If I can talk. Yeah, I've done things at the stockyard, videos at the stockyard. Again, that's something that I might do closer to Halloween. The Castle Lake Eastern State Penitentiary took solitary confinement to a new level when it was built in 1829. Prisoners lived alone, exercised alone, and ate alone. When an inmate left his cell, a guard would cover his head with a hood so he couldn't see or be seen. The prison had to abandon its solitary system due to overcrowding in 1913, although the forms of punishment did not get any less severe. Chaining an inmate's tongue to his wrist is one example, before closing for good in 1970. The site now welcomes thousands of visitors every year, both from its museum and Halloween celebration. Reported paranormal happenings have included disembodied laughter, shadowy figure, and pacing footsteps. Again, we got like 25 minutes, so again, I don't want to go over all these, but the fort in India looks like it was bombed. Castle in France. And when you think castles, you think England, and a lot of times England and Scotland and Ireland, but yeah, there are chateaus, castles in France. I mean, that's a beautiful building. I would love to have a castle in Ireland that looked something like that. Just for a place to visit. Stanley Hotel, people might recognize that hotel from The Shining, or the latest movie, Dr. Sleep, which is a prequel to The Shining. But that's where that movie was filmed. Let's see. This is in Argentina, a cemetery, and almost looks like a cemetery in New Orleans with above ground crypts and everything like that. The Tower of London in England. Most people have heard about that. Yeah, Disneyland is haunted. It's true. It's really haunted. So is Knott's Berry Farm out in California. The United Arab Emirates, I wouldn't put it past something being haunted there. St. Augustine Lighthouse in Florida. The Whaley House in San Diego, which I never got to visit. One of these times I'll get to visit there. Hill Crosses, Lithuania. And I'm going to read one more. Edinburgh Castle, Scotland. Again, I would love to visit castles in Scotland and England. Again, all the links for tonight's topics are in the description. I'm going to get to some videos here. They're not too long, but I want to share them and let you tell me what you think is actually going on in these videos. So this first one is real ghost capture on cat disturbing our cat. Now, let me pause real quick there, because cats, as I said earlier, animals and small children have the ability to see spirits where most people lose that ability. I mean, tell me what you think in the comments down below, but notice this animal, he's focusing on something. And there's going to be a cat that walks in from here, but it's not that. You see the little green box up there? See, there's the cat. Notice the table move. Now, could somebody be off camera making it move? Yes. And then the camera just turns towards the wall and stay there until they return. Again, let me know what you think about these videos and all the stories that I mentioned tonight. So we're again, it's going to zoom in here. Watch where that green box was up in that corner. The shadow. The cat was focusing on that, as you can see in the mirror, and the other cat coming in, stopping before coming in. So again, let me know what you think in the comments down below. And that one, real quick, that is from Happy Fox Productions. So if you visit their channel, make sure that you let them know Talking the Night sent you. Because
and you can customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Thing is fake. Okay.
Shocking, right?
Stupid ad. I don't want that. Alright, so let's get into this. This is from Nuke's Top 5. Again, I'll let you decide what you think on these. let me know what you think in the comments. But also, if you visit these YouTuber channels, let them know Talking the Night sent you. So let's play this.
The top 5 ghosts caught on tape. The Doorway. The Barton Mansion in Redford, California is considered by many to be one of the most haunted locations in the state. Way back in 2001, 2 young men decided to investigate the abandoned house. What they caught on...
Bill, can you hear that okay? Just let me know if you can hear that okay. Give me a 5x5. Let me know if you can hear that okay before I continue playing the video. I'll wait and see. Pretty sure it's okay. So let's go ahead and play.
Tape remains one of the most controversial ghost sightings ever recorded.
Cover my back, alright? What the hell's that? Down on the floor. Where? Right there.
Thanks, Bill. Yeah, now something like that. Let me pause it here. Something like that. That could have, and I've seen another video where somebody ran across somebody living in an abandoned building. Yes, that could be the same situation here. But yeah, seeing something like that could freak out just about anybody. I doubt it would freak me out. But unless it was an actual live person, and then, yeah, I might want to get out of there because who knows what they might have in mind.
Now, something of interest here. It looks as though the figure in the video has to crouch down to fit through the doorway. This would mean that the person, ghost, or whatever this is, had to be around 7 feet tall or more. Today, 16 years later...
Okay, now, 7 feet tall. Could it be that actually somebody standing on something that, like I said, it could be faked? This one, I believe, could possibly be faked. Which would make for a really good scary movie. But, yeah. Again, let me know what you think in the comments down below. So, yeah.
The 2 men who recorded the video still claim that the footage is 100% real. The Anguished Man. Sean Robinson has been posting YouTube videos for over 7 years of a painting that he claims is haunted. According to Sean, the painting, named The Anguished Man, has a dark history. It was painted by a mentally disturbed man who committed suicide shortly after completing it. Sean claims that every time he gets the painting out of his attic storage, strange things begin to happen around his house.
So I'm going to set up the recording equipment and leave it for approximately 8 hours. And I'll leave the light on.
Almost sounds like somebody just blowing on the microphone. So watch what happens to the painting here. watch the door. Again, could it be somebody with a string? Could it be fake? Yes. This is where I should say watch the painting. Again,
Over 7 years, Sean has only posted 8 videos to his YouTube channel. He says that between filmings, the painting is kept securely locked away in his attic.
Again, let me know what you think on that. It's going to play an ad in here. I hate how YouTube adds these ads in the thing. Why not make them the ads before or after playing the video? But yeah. But again, let me know what you think in the comments down below. So let's continue playing. I'm going to have to skip that ad here in a couple seconds.
Headless haunting.
If you manage a team, you have to try Monday.com. Monday.com is a platform to track everything your team is working on. We use it for all our projects.
There we go. Sorry about that. I hate YouTube doing that.
Some kids in Iraq are filming around an old abandoned school. At first, their exploration is pretty uneventful. Then one of the boys mentions in Arabic that his phone that had been fully charged was now about to shut off. Right after he says this, the cameraman nonchalantly pans around an abandoned classroom. Just then a call to prayer can be heard from a nearby mosque. The camera catches this strange footage.
Now, y'all saw that, right? I mean, that, I don't know what to tell you on that one. Yes, it could have been faked, but I think that one was a little more real. That one, I believe, was a little more real. But again, as I said earlier, let me know what you think in the comments down below.
The boys couldn't see the headless apparition with their naked eye and had no reaction. It was only later, when watching the footage back, that they noticed the chilling figure in the video. The Phantom Diner. CCTV footage from Jimmy's World Grill in Bedfordshire, England, captured some strange activity in the restaurant on tape.
Now, watch what happens. I forgot I can just click on this and it'll go back, pause, rather than go all the way down there and hit the pause. But watch this table right here. Watch this chair. Watch the stuff on there. Now, he's going to mention some things like the people in the diner not noticing. Yes, it could be staged, but again, as I said always, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Now, notice the napkin, and of course this little stuff here, people not noticing it going on. No worries, Nicole. But it isn't until something later in the video that catches the attention of the other diners. Not even the chairs moving. Okay. Now, could strings be attached to this stuff? Quite possible.
Now, if this scene were being faked with multiple hoaxers pulling fishing line or strings, it seems like it might attract a little more attention from the other diners. But in the footage, no one...
Unless the diners are in on it. That's the only thing. But again, I'm not certain that there ain't enough here to make an intelligent decision on whether it's actual haunting or not. But let me know what you think in the comments down below.
Then looks up until the noisy plates and silverware hit the floor. The girl in the grave.
And again, another ad that I have to skip.
Introducing.
I apologize for this,
Budweiser
for those
Nitro
watching.
A first of its kind.
This one I
flavor.
can't, oh well, I guess I
Infused-
can't skip it. I hate these ads in the middle of the thing, but again,
In the graveyard.
I know
In this
it ain't
next clip from
top
all the way
five,
back in 2005, Mexican TV personality Facundo Gomez is filming himself in what is supposedly a haunted cemetery
Yeah,
in
I believe that
Mexico
was
City.
from their security camera.
Suddenly, he hears someone crying from somewhere in the distance and goes to investigate.
No sé si es cosa mía. No sé bien.
Now this one, I mean, this one could be set up as well. Could be faked as well. But again, I can have my opinion, but I want to know what you guys think about this. And also, like I said, for anybody tuning in late or watching this later on, let me know what you know in the think in the comments down below. And also, make sure that if you visit these YouTubers' channels, that you let them know Talking the Night sent you.
No seas idiota.
Watch where his camera goes to.
No, no está nada lógico una niña llorando en un cementerio a las 12 de la noche. Bueno, más. A la 1:30. ¿A escuchar? ¿Alguien ahí?
He's gonna see something that spooks him out.
Amiga, ¿cómo te llamas?
I don't speak Spanish, so I don't know what he's saying.
Amiga, niña. Ay, no seas imbécil. Te me digo la... ¡Bravo! ¡Conectas! ¡Raymond! ¡Vengas, güey! ¡Vengas, güey! ¡Por favor!
Now, this clip was first posted to the internet over 12 years ago. Despite rampant online speculation through the years that the film is a hoax, Facundo Gomez still claims that his clip is 100% real, and that he captured an actual ghost on tape.
I'm thinking it's more of somebody in the thing. It could have been faked. But again, let me know what you think. Alright, so that's it for this. Again, this is from Nuke's Top 5. If you visit their channel, make sure that you let them know that Talking the Night sent you, and subscribe to their channel as well. I haven't had a chance to subscribe to his channel. I mean, I like his content and everything like that, especially stuff like this. So make sure that you let them know Talking the Night sent you. Now here's one that I know for a fact that this is real. Now, I wasn't here when this video was captured, but after being at the Omen House in Beverly Hills, I've seen some strange stuff. So I can't answer that right now. So I've seen some strange stuff. So this, I think, is real. Again, let me know what you think in the comments down below. And if I can get it to play, apologize. Don't tell me you don't want to play. Okay, here we go. Okay, watch this coming out the door. Let's see. You'll see it. I should have zoomed or zipped to that point in time. But it's near the end of the video. Okay, so now you can start seeing it. Whoops. What the heck? You can see it coming out, pausing, then it goes out into the street and disappears just as a car goes past. Now, oops. I don't want to play that. But again, let me know what you think on that.
What's next? What's next for our communities? For our companies?
Everything is going wrong tonight.
For every business, the question is, what do we do
They
next?
don't want to pause. My live stream don't want to go on schedule. It's just a whole list of things. What the heck is
What do we
playing?
do for our people and our customers? How do we move forward to define and create the best of what's
It's
next?
still playing the ad from this
People
one.
who know.
Why is it playing the ad from that still? Everything's going wrong tonight. All right, so let's get into this one. And that last one was from David Ullman's YouTube channel. So again, if you visit his YouTube channel, let him know Talking Paranormal Phil and Talking the Night sent you. 5 scary ghost sightings caught on video, and this is Super Horror Bros. And it's already 10 o'clock, but we're gonna go a little bit longer just so we can play this last video. It's only 5 minutes and 17 seconds long.
For centuries, mankind has asked the question, do ghosts exist? Skeptics would likely say no, while the more open-minded believe there is too much evidence out there to make this claim. In this video, we take a look at 5 scary paranormal sightings caught on camera. Number 5. The Magnolia Hotel Haunting. In South Texas, at the Magnolia Hotel, something haunting and unexplainable was captured in the hotel's Campbell room during the early hours of the morning. Look to the left of the screen and you will see a strange black mist collecting before sweeping past the camera as it morphs into a white cloud. The cloud of mist then moves around the room before vanishing. 10 minutes pass before the mist returns for one final rotation of the room and then vanishes, never to be seen again. Guests of the hotel noted other paranormal events, though none have been captured on video. The
Almost
creepiest
looks like
part of this
somebody
story comes when
smoking.
learning the history of the Campbell room itself, so named because Texas Ranger James Campbell was murdered by Comanches in the 1840s in this very location, when it stood as a 2-room cabin. Could this be his ghost? Number 4. Ghost Dad. A young woman appears to be in a daze as she
Now,
stumbles.
this one trips me out. Could this be a ghost? Could this be like somebody manipulating the Matrix? Could be a time traveler. You let me know what you think about this one, but I've seen this before.
Onto the main road in front of oncoming traffic. While the first car manages to swerve out the way, the second is on a collision course. That is until a ghostly figure shoots past, picking up the girl and dropping her safely at the other.
Now, like I said, there was nobody running to catch up. Now, could this be very clever video editing? Yes, it could have been done that way. But definitely a weird thing. Because, I mean, the person looks solid here, not like a ghost. So, I don't know if it would be considered a ghost. I would think that it was some video editing done there in this one. So I would probably matrix glitch, yes. But I tend to believe this one was faked. But again, let me know what you think in the comments down below.
The side of the road. The figure is gone within seconds of entering the frame and seems to teleport. This incredible footage is said to be an apparition of the girl's father who passed away years earlier.
But again, look at how real that person looks. So that's why I say it looks like it was staged.
Number 3. The Gettysburg Ghost. In 2001, Tom and Delilah Underwood visited the Gettysburg.
Now, I did a video on Ghosts of Gettysburg, but this is not that video. And that video that I'm talking about on the Ghosts of Gettysburg is over on my Into the Paranormal YouTube channel, so check that out. And a link for that channel is in the description. So, let's continue the video.
Battlefield and recorded this spooky footage.
Can't be the motorcycles, honey. There's another sparkler. You see what I'm saying?
What is that?
Tree.
No. You've moved it, right? Right there. See it?
Uh-huh.
Many consider
Now, could that be artifacts from the camera lens? Could be artifacts from, it looks like it's foggy there. Yeah, that's quite possibly a possibility. But, yeah, I mean, Gettysburg has a lot of hauntings, but yes, this could be an artifact. No, not Bigfoot. But this could be an artifact from the fog and the lens, but it also could be an actual ghost sighting.
This footage to be some of the most compelling evidence for the existence of ghosts out there. At the tree line is a flat bank leading to a vertical 10 feet drop. Despite this, we catch glimpses of ghostly figures resembling Confederate soldiers seemingly making their way up and over the hill. Once again, the ground here is flat and results in a sheer drop. It appears these may be the ghosts of fallen soldiers from the American Civil War, as they made their way over the ridge 150 years earlier. Number 2. Malaysian Hospital Haunting. Surveillance footage from a hospital in Malaysia picked up something highly distressing. A ghost attack on a member of...
Now, this one has also been kind of... I hate using the word debunked, disproved, and as the people that filmed this saying that they set this thing up, but they also claim that this actually happened too. So I'll let you decide, but I think this one could have been faked a little more. Now, I'm not saying that this didn't happen, but you'll see what I'm talking about here in a moment.
Staff. First, in a waiting room, a chair is rotated and a door slammed shut. As you can see, no one is around to tamper with them.
Again, like I said, it could have been... I mean, take stop motion and then add time lapse to it. To make it seem like it's moving quicker than it is. That's exactly what could happen with editing it, because I know I'm taking college classes, and one of my classes we're doing video editing. So yes, stop motion, time lapse added to that. I mean, there's that possibility. But watch this, and again, I'll let you make up your mind on this.
The spirit then moves to a separate room where a girl sits alone. The ghost gets her attention by moving a chair. Freaking out, the girl attempts to flee the room, but it is blocked by a torrent of flying tables and chairs. Desperately, the girl backs...
Again, like I said, it could have been... Because I mean, like I said, they've already come out and said that this was filmed for like a commercial or trailer or something like that. So it's already been kind of disproven. But again, I'll let you make your own decision in the comments.
Away and appears to be knocked out by the spirit as she abruptly falls to the floor. This footage has never been successfully debunked or explained. Number 1. Man attacked by ghost in hallway.
Now this one is the creepiest, but also with video editing, it can be done as well. But again, I've seen this one many times before too, so I'll let you make up your own.
This final clip is perhaps the most disturbing of all. A man walks down a corridor at night, only to be confronted by a ghostly figure which appears before him and promptly begins to grab his leg and drag him kicking and screaming to the end of a hall before releasing him. This footage is especially creepy as we can see from the way the man's leg is raised and his arms flail that he is literally being dragged by a paranormal entity. Either that or a very convincing hoax.
Now, I don't know if I would call it a hoax off the bat on this one. This one could actually be real. But again, there also is that possibility of very good film editing. So again, let me know what you think about all these in the comments down below. And of course, next week we're gonna get into scary movies based on true events. And next week I hopefully won't have the same problem I had tonight with the stream not wanting to start right, and then it messed up and then I had to restart the stream. So hopefully I won't have that problem next week. I'll have that all figured out. I'll test it all beforehand. And as usual, let me know what you think down below. Make sure you like, comment, share, hit the notification bell so you get notified when I go live again or post a new video. As always, thank you for tuning in. And until next time. Wait for it. Wait for it. I shall see you on the dark side. Good night from Talking the Night. Late at night, darkness has fallen. Turn on the radio, and you hear him talking. listening to what he has to say, all about paranormal and all of the things. When he sounds off, you can